Welcome to Look North. The main news from around Yorkshire today. Guilty of manslaughter. A teenager faces prison after stabbing a 16-year-old in Leeds. And on the day students get their A-level results, there are warnings that some of Yorkshire's poorest students are being left behind. Hello, thanks for joining us this lunchtime. A teenage boy has been found guilty of killing a 16-year-old in Leeds. Irfan Wahid was stabbed to death in Harehills earlier this year. His killer, who can't be identified because he's 17, has been found guilty of manslaughter. Irfan's cousin, Sadia, says he was a humble, loving boy. Our news correspondent, John Cundy, has this report on today's events in court.
Well, this is the story of two teenagers who coveted the same girl they both liked, and it ended in tragedy. Late on the afternoon of February the 10th this year, Irfan Wahid was returning home from school, and as he got off a bus, he saw the defendant in this case, 16 at the time, now 17, talking to that girl. They rowed, a street fight ensued. Irfan shoved the defendant to the floor, at which point the defendant got a knife out of his bag and stabbed Irfan once through the heart. He died a short time later. The defendant said he panicked, got rid of the knife by putting it down a grate, and on the advice of his friends, burned some of his clothes. Neither that night nor the next night did he go home. He slept in a friend's car before handing himself into the police. But throughout this case, he made it clear that he hadn't meant to harm anyone, he hadn't meant to kill anybody, and he said he felt terrible when he found out that Irfan had died. Well, in this case, the jury had to answer three questions. Had the defendant needed to defend himself in that manner when Irfan struck out at him? Was the force used against him reasonable? And did he intend to kill Irfan? Well, by their verdicts, the jury have cleared the defendant of murder, but found him guilty of the manslaughter of Irfan Wahid. Sentencing will take place next month. John Cundy, BBC Look North, Leeds.
Well, Irfan Wahid's family have been talking to us. They say he was an outgoing and popular teenager. Before today's verdict, his brother Cameron told Amy Garcia about the moment he arrived on the scene on the day Irfan was killed.
Well, I've got there and I seen a big crowd, and then he was there, and then blood was coming out. His t-shirt was ripped up because they tried stopping the blood. A guy was helping him out, the one that gave me his phone. And then when I've got there, the guy asked me my name. I said it's Cameron. And then he said to Irfan, Cameron's here. And then the ambulance came and they took him, and then no one else saw him. Hearing that he had been stabbed by a knife, I was shocked. Like, he could have fought with his hands. He could have fought with his hands. A knife, especially where he had hurt my brother, it was just so painful. I just can't get it out of my head. It just brings anger and pain in me.
Do you feel safe in Harehills?
Harehills is not safe, and I think nothing's being done. And I would like something to be done, because not just for myself, not just for us, just for our younger generation.
What would you like to see?
I'd like to see, obviously, a change with the gangs, the fighting, the knife crime. I wouldn't say just stop to knife crime, because it took a life from us. Just stop all the violence itself. I would like there to be more open facilities for the younger children, even for us. Like, we have the holidays, what we're doing. Now the kids are just walking around, following the crowds.
What kind of cousin and brother was Iffy?
He was very open, he was the loud one. He was just so friendly to everyone.
Even at school, everything with his friends, he was a very popular kid, obviously, for his smile, for his laughs, for his jokes. If you needed a player on the team, then you were one player down, you'd definitely call Iffy. Yeah, I'd want Iffy on my team. He's on my team. Without a doubt, he's on my team. Yeah.
Amy Garcia speaking to Irfan's family earlier.